Today, I'm going to be showing you the Charmer collection from Unearthly Cosmetics. Now, this was a super limited edition Valentine's Day released, so I did get this on pre-order. I ordered the whole box, and there's quite a few products in here, and I was really excited because there is an eyeshadow palette, there's a lip gloss, there's a lip oil, there's also a liquid blush, and like a little brush set. So taking a look at the inside, here's what the entire package looks like. Got the palette and everything in its own individual box, and I love the design of this. I'm going to be showing you swatches of almost everything with the exception of the liquid liners because honestly I just know I'm not going to get any use out of these, so I will give those away, as well as the blush. It's not really my kind of color. I prefer warmer tones, so I'd rather someone else gets use out of this, but the packaging, so beautiful. These components, such a level up from their previous packaging. Not that the previous packaging wasn't great. It was really fun. It had the little glitter suspended in some sort of liquid, and it was really fun to look at. But this is like, this is fancy. I'm really digging it, and we have a really cool doe foot applicator that is so easy to use, and all of these do have the same doe foot applicator. And then there's 4 brushes that are included in this collection. I do believe that these are existing shapes, but they just have the different colorway. So there's 2 face brushes. I think this is probably a highlighter brush. I'm wearing the Dreamer highlighter actually on right now. And then this cool larger angled brush. Not sure what I'm gonna use it. I prefer to use smaller brushes, but I do love the shape of it. And then there's 2 eye brushes, a blending brush, and then you could probably use this as a blending brush as well. But for me, this would definitely be something I would use to apply shimmers with. Overall, I think it's a nice variety of brush shapes. And then of course we have the Charmer eyeshadow palette, and here is the inside color story. Very bright. We have the shimmers at the top and all the mattes on the bottom row, and all these shimmers are that new Unearthly Cosmetics formula. No hard panning, no nothing. These are just so beautiful, extremely smooth, no flakiness. The most opaque shades are Intrigue and Flame, and then Lure is the most topper-like shade in here, and then Romancer, Charmer are a little bit more on the sheer side, and then Weakness is a little bit more opaque as well. It is also the palette I'm wearing right now. I did not film this look, however, and I'm wearing the Bliss liquid lipstick. Love this color. Formula feels super comfortable. So let's get right into the 2 looks, and I'll give you some of my thoughts at the end of the video. Picking up Sweet Talk, and I'm going to put that into the inner crease. Just a tad, about a 1/3 way in. And then I'm going to take Crave right next to that. Just kind of packing it on a little bit and blending it upwards. And I'm going to go back in with Sweet Talk. I feel like this one didn't want to stick down a little bit. Could also be the primer. And then I'm taking Trickery on the outer corner. The moment I swatched Lure, I knew I had to use it. I mean, it is such a stunner. Just popping this underneath my lower lash line, just kind of connecting it as well and blowing it out. And then I'm going to wipe off my brush to try to get as much off so that I'm just blending out whatever is on my skin already. So I'm just blowing that out a little bit. And I'm going to go back in with a little bit of Crave, just right here. And then I feel like I need a smaller, more pencil-like brush. Taking Trickery, and I'm just gonna pop it right, like really close to my lash line and just kind of pack it on. And then just a little bit more here. Just like that. Picked up Lure, and it's gonna go all over the lid. There's so much shiftiness throughout the shade that I think that it will look so good with any of the shades in this palette. Look at that. Super shiny, very smooth. I think this one could be a great topper. And here's the finished look. For the second look, I primed with the P. Louise primer, and I'm going to be taking Tryst on this Rose and Ben brush. I have linked it on my community tab previously, but I don't use it as much anymore because I do feel like I get a little bit more precise control with other flatter brushes. But it is super easy for this. I think that you just get a faster coverage, but like I said, I don't feel like it's as precise. but it's good for like laying down a color at first. See, like I feel like it's easily just goes a little too far up, for example. And if I wanted to deepen this up further with a deeper shade, I would definitely go in with a smaller brush and just go like up against and smudge against my lash line. And then I'm gonna wipe this off and just kind of go over the edges. And then I'm gonna dip into Crush, which I'm gonna focus in the center of my lid, and then I'm gonna be bringing it inwards. So it's not gonna be as concentrated as I bring it in here. I'm just gonna work this one and blend and blend and blend and blend essentially. I'm just gonna go in with the teeniest bit here. This one is super, super pigmented. Definitely feel like I wanna go in with a clean, fluffy brush and just a little bit of setting powder, and I'm just taking it over the edges. And for the shimmers, I'm gonna be using 2 different shimmers. So I'm gonna go over the brown with, I think with Flame, and I'm gonna mist my brush. And I always just mist with water. Oh yeah, that's so pretty. So I'm just taking that over. I'm gonna also take it underneath my lower lash line. And then just go a little bit more out here. Don't want to really necessarily like thicken up the wing too much more than it already is. Picked up Charmer, and I'm gonna pop that right up here. And then on the rest of the lid, I'm just gonna use my finger and I'm gonna put Romancer right here. And then I think I'm gonna go back in with just some setting powder on the edges. Just really want this to be a bit lighter on the edge here, and then just go over this and really just feather everything out. Here's the finished look. So I can't give you my thoughts on the blush and the liquid liner, but there's lots of videos and Instagram content as well if you want to check those out. As for the brushes, they do feel like really, really nice quality. And I love that they're really glossy because I think that just makes it easier for them to stay clean. You can easily wipe them off and they feel super, super soft. I think I'm going to be using this one as maybe a setting brush. I can always use more setting brushes, honestly. And then this one is a great highlighter kind of brush. And then the 2-eye brushes are really, really nice as well. I have tried the lip oil. It is a little bit on the thicker side in terms of lip oils I've tried. I feel like usually they're a little bit on the thinner side, but I actually like that it's thicker because I feel like it stayed on my lips a little bit better and a little bit longer. But I do definitely want to keep trying that one out. I have only tried one of the lip glosses so far, and that is Puppy Love. This is one of the most sparkliest glosses I have ever used, and I need them to come out with way, way more. Like, we need a whole lineup of these. This is so, so beautiful. I love it. Not gritty or anything like that. It is, again, a little bit on the thicker side, but it's not thick in like a goopy way. It just means that it will stay a bit longer on your lips than something that is super liquidy and just kind of moves around a lot. So loving the glosses and the lip oil and also the lipstick. This one seems a little bit similar to their satin liquid lipstick formula. I haven't noticed it hasn't completely dried down, but I do have chapstick underneath, so that could be the reason. But there's no cracking or, you know, when it feels like it's like dried down, so it's a little bit tight on your lips, it does not feel uncomfortable at all. And finally, onto the palette. I just love the packaging. I love the font. I love the metallic. I love the theme. I think it's a very unique take on a Valentine's Day collection that is not the typical. And also, I feel like this color story is a little bit unexpected. I do feel like it challenged me a little bit to create some kind of unconventional combinations here, but I do like that you have Tris to really just ground you, so you don't have to be always all colorful with this palette. Personal preference, I would have liked the shimmers to be a little bit more on the sheer side because I just don't really reach for dark shimmers like Intrigue and Flame. But I also think that these 2 shades, while yes, they look different, I feel like they're kind of giving off a little bit of a similar vibe, especially also with Romancer. Like, I just feel like I wish there was a little bit more pop and kind of nod back to some of the mattes out of this shade. I do have from other brands. For example, Cephalopod from the Deep Sea Treasures from Clionadh, as well as Devinah Cosmetics has a shade. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Pretty much the same color, but they are 3 different distinct formulas, which is really cool. So if you don't have those, if you're not into single eyeshadows, but you do really want that shade, then you have it in this palette if you're able to grab it before it sells out and is no longer available, of course, which is such a shame. I would really love to see some less super limited edition collections from Unearthly, but I understand that they're very curated and specifically themed collections. I think it restricts people from being able to get this collection or get parts of the collection because then everyone wants to pay up front for the entire collection. Let me know your thoughts on that. Also, let me know if you pick this collection up or if you plan on it. If you're hesitant, I'm not sure how much longer it will be available for, so definitely check out the Unearthly website, check out their Instagram. I'm always super excited to see what they're launching next because they have been truly knocking it out of the park for the past like 2 years, going on 3 years, and I'm sure they have lots of cool stuff in the works. So that's everything for this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time.